Sometimes we never question the things we learned as children. We don't wonder if what we learned is true or made up. They said Einstein failed his math class. We were kids back then and always believed it. However, Einstein was a very intelligent person. Columbus proved that the world was round. An apple fell on Newton's head. We've heard these so much that they seem true now, but the truth is not as it is told. Today, we will look at stories in history that we think are true, but are actually either fabricated or exaggerated. If you're ready, let's begin. Just think about it, my friend. How many people have heard the phrase Einstein failed math when they got a bad grade? The truth is, Einstein did not fail math. Einstein was very good at math since childhood. At the age of 12, he taught himself algebra. Einstein delved into advanced math topics while still in high school. So, where did these rumors come from? The grading system in Switzerland was different. 6 was the best grade, 1 was the worst. Someone misunderstood this grading system and things went in a completely different direction. Thus, this myth emerged. So, Einstein never failed in mathematics. Did Columbus prove that the world was round? We were told this way. Columbus set out bravely and proved that the world was round. But is this really true? People had already known for centuries that the world was round. Ancient Greek philosophers had discussed this topic. Columbus's aim was not to prove that the world was round. He just thought he had found a shorter route to the Asian continent. The main problem was that he miscalculated the size of the world. If he hadn't come across the American continent, the journey would likely have ended in disaster. So, Columbus did not discover anything. He just made a miscalculation when setting out, that's all. George Washington and the cherry tree story. So is this true? Little George is given a hatchet and cuts down the cherry tree in the garden. His father asks, "Who cut this?" He says, "I cut it." "I cannot tell a lie," he says. In this way, a very nice character story emerges, but this event appears in a book after Washington's death, so there is no real evidence. This story may have been written to create a hero for America. Sometimes human communities love to embellish their heroes. The next story is the Great Chicago Fire and the cow story. In 1871, a terrible fire broke out in Chicago, and the blame was placed on a cow. Allegedly, a cow knocked over a lantern in a barn, and that lantern caused the fire. But it later emerged that this story was fabricated by a journalist. The real cause of this fire was never clarified. Society was looking for a culprit and the easiest target was chosen. So did an apple fall on Newton's head? Is this story true? There is no one among you who doesn't know the apple story. There is no clear evidence that an apple hit Newton's head. Newton only recounts observing the fall of an apple. The theory of gravity is the result of years of work.
Sometimes stories are simplified. As the story becomes simpler, it moves away from reality. So, did Nero play the violin while Rome burned?
Is this really true? Rome burned, and it was said that Nero played the violin. But there's a small problem. The violin hadn't been invented yet at that time. Some historians have also written that Nero was not in Rome when it burned. There is even evidence suggesting he returned and helped. But for people of that time, the story of a bad emperor was more compelling.
It turned out that this story was not true either. Is it really true that Marie Antoinette said, "Let them eat cakes"? But this phrase appears in a text written before her. Moreover, Marie was a young girl at that time.
Sometimes societies try to encapsulate their anger in a single sentence, and that sentence eventually becomes a symbol. But being a symbol is not the same as being the truth itself. The situation is this, my friend. History is not as clear as we think. Some stories are told to inspire, some to blame someone, and some because they are simply better stories. Perhaps the real question is, which story we believe to be true today will become tomorrow's legend? Do you have a story you thought was true but later turned out to be false? I'm waiting for your comments. If you like this story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and follow us. See you in the next video.